Paul has to be, shortly, he's got a very busy schedule, there's a briefing, so I will just take one more question from Reverend Hewitt.
Can you help us to understand, where did you get majority of the increase in employment? With big companies relocating to Ireland, or within the indigenous Irish industries expanding their base, small and medium? That's one. And two, I think it is symbolic that here we are discussing social partnership. On the agenda for our parliament is enforcement to do with capital punishment. I am of the belief that the agenda for social transformation in Ireland did not lead that society to embrace capital punishment as an answer to your crime problem.
Okay, if I may take the second one first, and I know this is a political issue, so it's not right for a visitor to make any comments about what a country does for itself. As a citizen, I'll say, I was very proud of my country in the 90s when we took capital punishment off our statute. I was very proud to be a member of a society that found a better way to deal with its challenges. But I will also say that I have a lot of really close colleagues in the US who are deeply concerned about the future of their society, and yes, embrace a policy that I don't embrace. And I know that they aren't bad people. So I'm not trying to involve myself in somebody else's debate, but I have to give my own, as a human being, what matters, what my values are, for what it's worth. And I'm not a government speaker. On the issue of where did the jobs come from, like, it is glorious, as Chris said, when you produce growth, it is glorious where the jobs come from, because they come from everywhere. Every single solitary piece of your society can produce meaningful, fulfilling jobs. One critical piece is we all have to value jobs. And we in Ireland were very poor at valuing a job in the service industry, because we were so used to being the poor people and the chambermaids of Europe. We didn't like to be in a hotel saying, "Did you have a nice time, sir?" That wasn't natural for us. We didn't like that. So we got about 150,000 jobs. We've about 2 million people employed. About 150,000 of those work for US companies, German companies and other countries. About 95,000 of them are actually American. I work on a dairy company. I'm on the board of a dairy company in Ireland. We opened a factory in New Mexico where they welcomed this wonderful Irish company, giving much needed employment to Americans. And this is a country that exported its jobs all its time. There are nearly as many Americans working for Irish companies in America as there are Irish people working for American companies in Ireland. Most people don't know that. And what we did was, we didn't, and it's really important, I'm not trying to make myself important, but it's really important, is that we encouraged Irish companies to go abroad and give Americans jobs. Now that might sound counterintuitive. Surely you should try to make sure all the jobs happen in Ireland. But if we did that, these companies would never have grown. So Ireland has to be a great base from which to exploit global markets. And when you do that, you encourage Irish companies to go abroad and to make jobs abroad. You export some jobs from your country. But as you produce that wealth, a myriad of jobs come up in services, in distribution, in supermarkets, in cinemas, in music, in golf course management, in golf course pros, in massage and facial artists. The jobs just litter through the society. And I know they say the American jobs, the foreign jobs, 150,000, probably have a similar 150,000 directly parallel outsourced jobs. And they produce a demand for much better accountancy services, so you get accountancy services. Our hotels create demands for food, so we get really good food producers who can sell into global hotel chains, and then they gain contracts all across the world because they're meeting the standards of these global hotel chains. They just go right through your society. provided you have a view that you're going to grow them on the back of economic growth. And the jobs will be the outcome, not the intention. If you make them the intention and put in too many policies to make them happen, they won't happen. It's just the way the market appears to work. Sorry, I'm going on too much. Excuse me.
Listen, thank you all very much for taking time out of what I know are very busy days to join us. I found this discussion was very fruitful. So in terms of the next step, as I said, by the end of next week, all being well, we will have a draft report for your comment as to the recommendations we would make in order to make a social partnership viable. And so we will very much appreciate any feedback or critical input or anything we've missed out you have to make. I want to thank Paul Haran for taking time out of his very busy schedule to spend a week in this island. Now, having said that, it is November in Ireland, and it is a bit more attractive here, so I think we do have something to leverage. Nonetheless, it was very good of him to spend this time with us. He's had a very busy schedule, and he's not done yet. He's having dinner this evening with the Prime Minister, and he's back up tomorrow morning on the television, I think at 6:30. He has really been very committed, and I want to, on behalf of all of us here today, thank him for giving us this time, and thank you for a very interesting presentation. So please, if we don't yet have your contact information, please do leave it with us as you leave, because we really do want to get as wide a coverage as possible in terms of the input into this very important process of recommending how the government can move forward. Thank you.